Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, the Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
Good afternoon, MFHL fans. Welcome into this Saturday afternoon edition of MFHL Game Day here on your home for MFHL hockey in the province of Manitoba. G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. I'm your host and play-by-play commentator for this afternoon's action between the Winnipeg Ice and the Eastman Selects. We'll get to what has happened so far here in this Week 8 action in the MFHL, as last night the Winnipeg Avros had to battle to win their 14th straight game. They'll be back in action, of course, tonight against the Brandon Wheat Kings. As for the Winnipeg Ice, well, a team that's had a bit of struggles at points so far this year. Started off, of course, 4-0, got close to 500. Since then, this team's been able to power back to a 7-4-1 record. Most recently, a huge win last night in Brandon against the Brandon Wheat Kings. As for this afternoon, there's going to be only one game played, which is going to be seen right here on G-Show Productions. 2 night games tonight, and then tomorrow, all afternoon games. Eastman and the Avros, the Winnipeg Avros, taking on each other tomorrow, which should be one heck of a matchup. As for the standings heading into this Saturday action in the Week 8 of the MFHL, Winnipeg, based off of the head-to-head against Eastman so far, they take over first place now, with almost the same amount of games played as the Eastman Selects. Of course, both teams will be facing off against each other tomorrow. Eastman's going to be looking to keep pace no matter what. I think they're going to be forgetting about the Avros altogether in this one, focusing on themselves and just hoping to get a clean 2 points against a Winnipeg Ice team that's looking to climb further up into the standings themselves. All teams now in this league have at least one win each. As for the keys to the game, the outlooks for the Eastman Selects, 14-1-1, riding high. They're coming off of a huge championship weekend where they won the Two Nations Prep College tournament down in Brampton, Ontario, winning in the finals, taking home the gold against the Brampton Cadets. Staying present was a theme in my interview with forward for this Eastman Selects team, Sophia Heidinger. And this team, you know, they can't look ahead into tomorrow's matchup. They got to focus on this one first, because this is a Winnipeg Ice team that is now chasing the field instead of being the ones chased. So they'll be coming in, you have to think, with a lot of motivation to take down a Eastman Selects team who's where the Winnipeg Ice have been in back-to-back years, near the top of the standings at that number 1 spot or near it. As for the Selects, attack. That's when they're at their best, when they're on their forecheck. creating turnovers and creating action on their cycle to get going. And once this team gets possession of the puck and gets that cycle going, they're one of the best in the league at hemming teams in. So that's what they should be looking to do this afternoon. As for the Winnipeg Ice, a big win over the Brandon Wheat Kings in their return to MFHL action last night. They've been playing a lot of tournament hockey as of late, but they're chasing the field right now. I mentioned that just now. Instead of being the number one team, they're now in the middle of the pack at this point in the season, but they can work their way up if they continue to have a strong weekend here. They've also had lots of volume in the last 3 games. 54 shots on goal last night against the Brandon Wheat Kings, team that's put up at least, I think, over 40 shots in 3 of their last games. So for Winnipeg tonight, I think that a team that's so passing oriented, and that's when they're at their best, is when they're able to use each and every piece of their lineup. That's going to be key tonight, or this afternoon, as I should say, against the Eastman Selects. Look to lock down that defensive zone to take away the slot area, make Eastman take more shots from the perimeter instead of getting into those high dangerous scoring areas. Do your best to anyways, as we take one last look at the standings before we head into this one. Eastman, besides the Winnipeg Avers, the best team in the league at putting that puck in the net with 56 goals for. The Winnipeg Ice, though, still a very solid defensive team. They'll be looking for that to come through this afternoon on MFHL Game Day, brought to you by Midcan Fasteners and Tools, Terracoke, and Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia and Goaltenders. National anthems in the first period coming up next here as the Ice and Selects renew their 2024-2025 rivalry.
Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, The Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
And hello MFHL fans, welcome into the Hockey for All Center, formerly known as the Winnipeg Iceplex, here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. It's the home of the Winnipeg Ice. They're set to take on the visitors in the Eastman Selects, the team where their home located in Niverville, Manitoba. This one brought to you by McKen Fasteners and Tools, Terrico Goaltenders, and Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia will be the main first period sponsor here this afternoon. Thank you to them for continuing to support the coverage of Manitoba Female U18 AAA Hockey League coverage here on G-Show Productions, your home for hockey here in the province of Manitoba. As we are underway, the puck is dropped, and we're set here from the Hockey for All Centers. It's the Selects in their zone to start things off. Abby Dixon tries to throw a pass up the middle, but will have that taken away by Winnipeg Ice forward. And number 8, Sophie Wozdosenki. As the puck rattles off the boards now, the Selects giving chase. The first one on it will be, I believe, Leah Texiera. So our broadcast angle a bit different for this afternoon matchup. Trying something a bit different since we have Zoom capabilities with our camera now. Still working out, maybe a few of the kinks with our focus, as the Winnipeg Ice are going to have to refocus here with the face-off draw coming up in their own end after icing that one. Here as both teams winding down their final games of the 2024 calendar year on the schedule. As this played up, Wozdosenski plays that to the middle, but it'll be taken wide. Wozdosenski gets it back, gets it over to Robbins, as Robbins sends it in deep. As Labossiere out of her own net to stop that up. Slowing it up enough for Lexi Remillard as she banks that off the boards, passing it to Sophia Heidinger. MFHL podcast guest yesterday on season 2, episode 10, talked about her good forecheck, and speaking of it, she's down there in the mix trying to take this puck away, but cannot for the time being, as the Winnipeg Ice able to break this puck out into the neutral zone, and Captain Izzy Mann sends this in deep. Teammate in Chablik giving chase. Izzy Mann now back there to help. He drops it back and hopes to get it to Chablik, but will not. Ends up on Heidinger's stick, who's able to just backhand this out. Turnover, though, as she was trying to hit Kennedy Carrier with that pass. Reese Beavis goes up the boards, get it past Hallie Chablik. The Winnipeg Ice send it back in deep, and that's going to be a huge key for this Winnipeg Ice team this afternoon. As, Eastman Selects team who, if you're able to pressure them well enough, struggle a bit to break out of their own end with ease. So definitely the key for Winnipeg and Eugene Kaminsky's group is to continue to get pucks deep, and hopefully you start to win battles or races to the puck, to the loose pucks that you send into those corners, right, or behind the goal line. Kay Cairns to take the draw against Scott Cook, loses that too. Number 15, as Scott Cook goes in to help now. This will be picked up by Kay Cairns for the Ice. Gets it to Moisey as she does the splits there in the corner. Not sure if you could see it. We got a bit of a railing in the way there, but this kicked out to Kennedy Carrier now. She has Isabelle Carrier going down low, chasing after this puck. It gets to number 8 stick, plays it up to the point. That shot wide of the net of Blake Hawes, I believe. I think she forgot her jersey for tonight's matchup. That may be an AP player as well. We'll get an update as this game goes along, however, but puck ends up out of play into the benches. You're watching MFHL Game Day here on this Saturday afternoon from the Hockey for All Center. Looks like they won't be updating the shots here in the arena as the periods go along. I think they'll update them as the periods come to an end, so we'll give you an update once that happens. This puck skated out and now up onto the stick of Schroeder as number 3 just sends this in deep. Given chase was Delaney Rigaud, but couldn't get there. Puck gets past Veda Rigaud's stick now as Veda able to get to it, settles it down, passes it over to Chloe Carrier. Passes up to Delaney Rigaud, but intercepted, cut off well by the Ice. Wozdosenski tried taking it to the net, but was stripped away of the puck there. Cut off well by the Eastman Selects. Now Delaney Rigaud cut off well there by Robbins. The Selects maintain possession of this puck, however. Sending in from just outside the blue line. Grunwald forced to make the save. Oh, that's actually Gina Plett in net tonight as we get to our starting goaltenders here of tonight's matchup. I know a bit late into the game, but it's Isabelle Labossiere and number 30, Gina Plett for this Winnipeg Ice team. Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. This first period brought to you by Ken Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Sophia Heidinger trying to break through with speed, but defended well there by a Winnipeg Ice defenseman. This almost turned over, but picked up. And surviving for now are the Winnipeg Ice as Hallie Chaplik, just before the blue line, decides to send this one in. Her team tried to get on it, but could not. As it'll be the Eastman Selects who are able to get this puck at center, and Hepner sends it in deep. Goes off for a change. Number 5 and Sophie Ota tries to get this puck up to a teammate, lost possession of it. The Ice got it back for a split moment. This gets sent deep into their end now as Isabelle Carrier in on the forecheck, trying to pin a girl along the boards there, and did, but the puck got loose. It's along the boards now and can't see it terribly well. As it's now down low into the low slot, Scott Cook denied by Gina Plett. As they do actually have the shots registered now. 2 for Eastman, nothing for the Winnipeg Ice, but still remains scoreless. On the real category that matters the most in this game, which is the score for both of these teams, of course, the Winnipeg Ice looking to continue what started off as a strong weekend for them last night in Brandon, an 8-0 win over the Wee Kings, as both those teams have played the least games out of any teams in the league heading into this Week 8 action. Been a lot of tournament action for this Winnipeg Ice team. There's been a lot of teams in the league that have been playing in tournaments as well as of late. In fact, the Yellowhead Chiefs are in Saskatchewan this weekend for the Manny Schwartz tournament, so that's why they have no league action. But in this one, the Selects, in their first of 2 games this weekend, as that shot turned aside by Gina Plett off of a good Select shot upon entry. As the Ice send this up, it's intercepted though. Veda Rigaud walking in, gets through, her shot denied by Gina Plett. As the shifty Veda Rigaud coming into this weekend's matchup with really impressive stats. Especially for a defenseman, as we show you this quick. Top 3 in assists. Her sister there, Delaney Rigaud, tied 3rd in goals. They'll, of course, both be hoping to add on to their totals here this afternoon. They'll need to be big time against the Ice. The Ice gotta dump this down now, giving chase, no icing on the play. Is the effort good enough? Izzy Mann gets to that puck first. A bit of stick action on Normando to knock that puck loose. Carvalho tried going to the front of the net, but it was cut off. The Selects control this puck now. Cross ice pass to Hepner, off of her stick, but regains possession. Sends it up, but off the stick of Heidinger it goes. Sophie Ota now pinned up along the boards by Heidinger. Side of the net. Tegan Walker able to knock this puck into the corner. It's back down low to Ota. Ota drops it back now to Walker. As Walker goes up to a teammate, but pass unable to be cradled in there by Cassie Carvalho. As the Ice try going up the middle, but good stick action from the Selects here to turn it over or force a giveaway and reset as they play this up by Scott Cook. Her shot turned aside by Gina Plett. And a stoppage in play coming with 12:53. The Ice, despite some potential good looks coming into the zone and getting some good breakouts so far, they haven't been able to break through to get past what is the best defensive team in the league heading into this afternoon's matchup. 4-0 these shots in favor of the Eastman Selects, as this draw ends up down below the Winnipeg Ice goal line. able to gain possession of it. It's Kay Cairns. Nifty little backhand pass over the stick of a select. So that gets to Chloe Nicholas. About to be cut off. She just fires this down low, where Reese Beavis is cut off almost by Kay Cairns. Got it past number 12. This one along the wall. Chloe Delacqui along with Kay Cairns trying to get this loose. Now Chloe Nicholas in the battle. 3 selects there as well, as this one finally pushed loose by Cairns, but her pass can't connect with Nicholas. Blake Haas got it to Dixon, who got it out for the selects. D to D. The ice went as this played up to Cairns, who just flips this down low and goes off for a change. This pass missing in the neutral zone now for the Eastman Selects as they look to turn things up ice. Ends up down low below the goal line. It's D to D to Chloe Carey. Up to Schroeder. Schroeder has that sticked away. Good defensive stick by the Winnipeg Ice. Upon almost entry. Oh, big collision in the neutral ice. Veda Rigo and Lazarenko both okay, but things getting rough out here. Traffic a bit heavy. Gotta watch out. You could get smoked. As into the corner it goes. Schroeder able to outmuscle Robbins there to the corner to get it to a teammate. This one stretched up, but out of the reach of Delaney Rigaud. Is all the way down for, oh no, icing as it's waved off. Good effort by Rigaud. Takes a awkward spill into the boards. Awkwardly skating now. As, yeah, Rigaud feeling the effects of that one, I'm sure. She goes back to the bench. Changes for Hepner as the Selects try to get this out. Picked up by Hallie Chablik of the Ice in neutral zone. It was dropped back to Oda, who just sends this in deep. Veda Rigaud. This is across to Lexi Remillard, who's pressured well there along the wall by Izzy Mann. Now Chablik comes in to pin it up. Remillard along the boards. Loose puck gets to Heidinger, who plays this off the boards to Veda Rigaud. Through the middle, almost intercepted, but able to get out for the Eastman Selects. As this gets sent back in deep again. For them to break out again for Eastman from their defensive zone. Chipped up the boards, but just bounces over the stick of Danielle Hepner. Ice able to get it back into their zone. Hepner was unable to get there first with her speed. D to D now to Ota. As Ota circles back into her own end now. Didn't like what she was seeing up ice. Quickly back to Ota's direction off of the stick from Walker as Chloe Nicholas comes down low to help out. Rims it around opposite side. Once again, there's now another battle ensues along the boards. Both teams trying to get this loose. It looks like the Winnipeg Ice at first, and it will be the Winnipeg Ice as they circle back in their own end before playing it up again. Pass through the middle, can't quite get threaded there. Kate Cairns has that knocked off her stick. As at the Winnipeg Ice blue line, they're able to take it away again. Good stick action from both teams here so far. I'm sure, though, both like to see a bit more flow in the game, as I have a feeling we could see things start to open up a bit more, especially during that second period. The Winnipeg Ice team so far sustaining against a Eastman Selects team who can start games off very strong, but sometimes take a bit of time to get into it. And I don't think that's the case today, but for the Winnipeg Ice, we're also not seeing one of their typical, that we've seen many times here on the network when we've covered them so far this year, a slow start, to say it that way. You know, a team that kind of takes a period to get into it, and then we start to see better habits build for the team throughout the course of the contest. But in this one, like, they've been able to get out and they battled in their zone. They've been able to get the puck into the Eastman Select zone numerous times, but that middle of the ice, the area is in tight in front of the net right now, being taken away really well by Eastman and covered well by this Select squad. So we'll see if that continues, and we'll see if Eastman can start to break through this ice defensive structure right now, which has been doing a really good job of keeping this Eastman Selects team to the outside, but a penalty coming here behind the back check, or hit from behind, as I'm trying to say. I don't know why I struggle to say that in particular, that phrase, but that's what it was. It's going to be 2 minutes for boarding coming up, a hit from behind for this Winnipeg Ice team to send the Eastman Selects onto their first power play of this afternoon's matchup. As we're going to pull up Eastman's power play stats here in just a moment on our second screen. You won't be able to see them, but going to work on a power play brought to you by Ken Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Eastman tied for the most power play goals in the league heading into this one with Yellowhead at 13. As Bow into the slot, that one fanned on by Normando as she creeped up from that defensive position in what looked like a golden opportunity for this Eastman Selects team, but it'll be dumped out by this Winnipeg Ice team. For the Winnipeg Ice so far this season, even though they've played the second least games in the league, they've been very disciplined at 60 penalties, or 60 penalty minutes, as I should say, which I think would equate out to 30 penalties in total throughout the course of 12 games. So something they'll be looking at as a strength hopefully tonight, or this afternoon, as I should say, as this one continues to move along. And Eastman, a team that, with their relentless forecheck, very good at drawing penalties against their oppositions this year, as this worked back up to the point to Hawes. Plays this across to Beavis as Hawes gets it back, plays it to Isabel Carey, whose shot can't get through there, hits a skate of a Winnipeg Ice player as this gets up to Kate Cairns now, leading this attack. This rush in short-handed, Chloe Nicholas, her shot deflects off of a stick and high up over the net as Cairns gets on a loose puck off the backboards. It has it taken away by Eastman as Scott Cook now skating in with some speed. A train coming down as Scott Cook around the net gets us up to the point to Chloe Carrier. Across to Beta Rigo, her pass unable to connect because of a good stick getting in the lane there from the Winnipeg Ice. With 9 seconds remaining on the Lazarenko penalty, a very good start to the special teams night for the Winnipeg Ice as we are back to even strength. Didn't really allow for the Winnipeg Ice or for the Eastman Selects to get to the inside, outside from that one chance that they fanned on in the low slot, which if they connect on that, we could be looking at a 1-0 lead, but Dems the breaks. And for Eastman, it's about looking for more opportunity moving forward now, as with 5:56 remaining in the opening period, still 0-0, as we just had our first power play of the game for Eastman Selects, killed off well by the Winnipeg Ice. We'll see if this Winnipeg Ice team can push for some more shots throughout this period, as this one sent in deep, as Winnipeg currently has none registered on the board with 5:40 left here in the opening frame. This sent all the way down, chased down by Tegan Walker first as she wins that foot race to the puck. Puck gets all the way out, but will be cut off by Normando, as no Winnipeg Ice player was there to get there quick enough. It's D-to-D. The Ice go now. It's up to Carvalho. Pass across, but that one unable to be cradled in by Hallie Chablik. Nice stick by Lexi Remillard to strip Chablik of the puck there. This is back on a Heidinger's stick. Good support down low for Eastman as they look to start a breakout up. Trying to thread that pass. Finally gets up to Schroeder, not the intended target at first for Normando, as that was Heidinger who was. As now this saucered across onto the stick of Chloe Nicholas. Nicholas now passing to the slot, but that taken away by a good stick, good coverage from the Eastman Selects, and you gotta wonder there if Nicholas should have just came in, walked in, and shot that to get some action on the Eastman Selects net, but that not being the case, the Eastman Selects with yet another face-off coming up inside of the Winnipeg Ice zone here, as they're able to win it off of the draw. Beavis, her shot unable to get through the traffic as a good block. A good barricade put up there by this Winnipeg Ice squad. Boxing out their players well as they pass this across. Working east-west, now looking to work north-south, as this rimmed around for Moisey. Moisey can't get there first, though, as this able to get through the legs of Lazarenko and out of the Eastman select zone. As Winnipeg trying to find any advantage they can to get behind the Eastman D, but just not getting the puck luck or bounces right now, as Eastman again, first one's back on it, passed up to Kennedy Carrier, tries going through the middle, but this unable to get there. Chloe Nicholas tried to get some good hand-eye, or use some good hand-eye to knock that down, but was not to be. As this now intercepted, maybe the best chance all night so far for the Ice to get a shot. That back door unable to go as Jones was taken away. Now this stretched up to Delaney Rigaud with 12 goals on the season. Could she make it 13? No. Turned aside by Gina Plett. As with 3:34 remaining. Now 6-0 in the shot category for the Eastman Selects team, and Sophia Wozniacki had the shot there. Her teammate was covered in front. Eastman did a good job of taking away that backdoor chance. Should have just put a shot on net to create some sort of rebound, some sort of chaos in front. Maybe they do it a bit differently here coming in, but Eastman denies entry to the blue line. This Winnipeg Ice team so far with 3:10 remaining in this first frame, a bit gun shy right now. Holding back on taking shots. Man, just misses over the net. This time, good attempt from number 10. Dangerous ice there. She got inside the ringette line. It's now along the boards. Now picked up by a man. Her shot now turned aside by the glove of Isabelle Labossiere. Didn't glove it cleanly, but covered it up quickly afterwards. As Mann has her squad on the board for the first time in the shot category in a game that remains scoreless. Mann wins the draw as this gets back up to the point. Sophie Oda gets this stripped away by Maya Grenier. Tries to dangle to the inside, but this will be cut off by Moisey. Plays this off the boards. Off of a ice skate, though. Bad bounce for them. They still control the puck in their own end, however, but being double-teamed, Heidinger pins the girl along the boards, and Hepner picks up the loose puck. Now Hepner gets cut off along the boards there by Izzy Mann inside of the Winnipeg Ice zone. This puck back onto the stick of Tegan Walker. Kicks this out to an outlet girl in Carvalho. Carvalho down the left side. She surveys her options. Will just protect this. Outside along the net, tries going to the slot, and can't even find the point as this goes through both defensemen. But played back up for this Eastman Selects team. It's Claire Hudson and Chloe Delacouille out there now, a foot race. Delacouille beat there by Isabelle Carey. Her shot turned aside, denied by a good stick of Claire Hudson. As that ends up out of play. In this first period of action, that's almost at its end. 1:40 remaining. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in so far and is still tuning in to this one. We haven't seen a score yet. A goal. Change the scoreboard. That is Baby Ears. Both teams banging away at it. One to keep it out, one to put it in the net and the ice. Able to come out successful that time around, somehow keeping it out of their cage for a Selects goal. At an offside on the play. And with that, we got a face-off coming up to the right of Isabelle Labossiere outside of the select zone. As Labossiere out of her own net leaves that for Lexi Remillard. As Lexi Remillard able to get away from pressure, but a good stick from Wozniacki. Able to keep this down low. Wozniacki now pins up Remillard along the boards. Robbins in to help as well. This forcing a turnover. Puck up to the point, blocked by a Selects player. That shot from Lazarenko this time around goes wide of the net altogether. As this gets chipped past and out onto the stick of Ada Rigaud, or Delaney Rigaud, as I should say, as she's turned aside by Gina Plett. As this puck out and now picked up by Reese Beavis as she tries to get past number 17 in Talia Jones, but a good stick in the lane there from Jones disrupts things. This puck played up to Heidinger. Her shot from a ways out turned aside by Plett. That's in the corner. Winnipeg Ice. Cut to the middle. It's Cassie Carvalho. Now into the neutral zone. Kicks us to the outside for Chablik. Her shot denied by Labossiere as it was right into her breadbasket. And she ends up covering it up afterwards. With 12.9 seconds remaining here on the clock. Izzy Mann to take the draw. The captain against Heidinger. Wins it cleanly to Tegan Walker for the ice. That shot along to the net. Tip just wide of Izzy Mann. Number 10 has looked dangerous so far in her chances, but can't quite get that final result, which is that goal so far. As this period comes to an end, the buzzer sounds, or the horn as I should say, as 0-0 the score. Shots 9-3 in favor of the Eastman Selects. Eastman, as advertised so far, with their defensive capabilities, only 16 goals against all season long heading into this one, which is outstanding through 16 games. Like, that's a goal against per game, which is pretty wild. But yeah, I thought they did a great job of locking things down in their own end and taking away the front of their net. The slot area made it tough for the Winnipeg Ice to generate things. But the Winnipeg Ice, what it's going to take in this game is not only a complete effort in their own end, which so far, even though Eastman's had their chances, they've had 9 shots, Winnipeg's been doing some good things in their own end. They're going to need to continue to get the good saves, but we saw it from Izzy Mann near the end of this period. His first, that is, that she's been looking dangerous today. This team still has players on it like Cassie Carvalho. Good players on the back end. Right, Wozniacki as well as Robbins have been pretty solid to start things off today as well, right? Izzy Mann looked dangerous on her chances, and she made an emphasis to get the puck to the net right on the shot as well as redirecting it towards the net, even though she missed it within the last 12 seconds. But not only are you going to need big-time players to step up, you're also going to need to just shoot more. Don't hesitate as much when you get your chances. Get that puck on the net, because you never know if a rebound can be created. You crash that net, and good things can happen afterwards, potentially. We're going to send it to a promo screen here, and then our Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia commercial. Then we'll be back for a bit of analysis heading into the second period to end off the first intermission on MFHL Game Day live here on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. This first period brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Ice selects scoreless after the first 20. What does the next 20 have in store? Well, check back here for the result of that next 20 if you want to find out. Stick around, everybody. More MFHL Game Day to come up very soon.
Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, The Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
Welcome back into the Hockey for All Center here on G-Show Productions presentation of MFHL Game Day, as the Winnipeg Ice, the home side, and the visitors in the Eastman Selects played a scoreless first 20 minutes. Shots were 9-3 in favor of the Eastman Selects. They held the majority of the offensive zone time throughout that period. As for the Winnipeg Ice, they started to get more high danger looks as that period came to its conclusion. The most dangerous look coming from Izzy Mann, the Ice's captain, as she deflected a shot in the slot that went wide of the net. Isabelle Labossiere getting the start this afternoon for the Eastman Selects. Gina Plett, rookie goaltender for the Winnipeg Ice, getting the start in the pipes for them this afternoon. As this next period going to be brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Be sure to check out their website at gordytumelsongoalies.ca. This next period also going to be brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. To find out why, check out their website at terrico.ca. But as for the rest of the action that is coming up today in the league, 2 night games, this being the only afternoon game. All games will be in the afternoon tomorrow. G-Show Productions will be in Niverville to broadcast Eastman taking on the Winnipeg Avros on MFHL Game Day tomorrow. Super pumped for that, as so far both of these teams number 1 in the standings, both tied for first, well ahead of the third place team as we look at the rankings there. The Ice, an offensive juggernaut. The Selects, I said 16 goals against, 19 goals against, still pretty darn dominant defensively, and we saw that dominant defense, as mentioned, on display during that first period. But as for yesterday, the Winnipeg Avros had to battle back to win against the Interlake Lightning. Huge third period for the Avros. Evie West back into this team's lineup. She ended up getting a goal. Callie Lavallee had the biggest night, along with Liberty Amy, as they both had 2 goals each. Interlake falling to 12-1 in the standings. As for the Ice and their big win yesterday, 8-0 over the Brandon Wheat Kings. Cassie Carvalho with 2 goals for herself. Same with Izzy Mann. Those players looking to be impactful coming up here in this period, coming up in the second, as well as throughout the course of the rest of this one, as the referees have made their way back on to the ice. Both teams will be making their way onto the ice shortly. Eastman's coaching staff, Laird LeLuc, head coach, and the rest of the crew made it onto the benches. Eugene Kaminsky and his Winnipeg Ice staff will be following suit shortly. As we got the teams back onto the ice right now. At least one team, that is, in the Eastman Selects, who of course went down to Brampton, Ontario last weekend and took home gold at the Two Nations College Prep Tournament, beating the Brampton Cadets in the finals to capture the gold. And Sophia Heidinger, had a chance to talk to her in episode 10, season 2 of the MFHL podcast yesterday. And she said the team was never looking forward in any of those matchups in terms of who was going to come next on the schedule, just very much staying in the present. And this is what this team I mentioned is going to be looking to do this weekend, of course, with how emotional tomorrow's game is going to be in terms of how high the energy is going to be and how intense tomorrow's game most likely is going to be against the Winnipeg Avros. It's hard to not look ahead, but this team seems to have the right mindset and has had, the stay in the present mindset all season long. Has benefited them tremendously to the point where they're 14-1-1 in MFHL regular season play. As both teams now back onto the ice. As for the Winnipeg Ice, looking to register more shots coming up this period. They had more chances than they put up in terms of 3 shots during that first. Sometimes passed up on shots when they should have shot it. I'm sure that Eugene Kaminsky and his coaching staff harped on that throughout the intermission break, as we are back in action here at the Hockey for All Center in the second period. Brought to you by Terrico and Goaltenders, of course. It was picked up by Aaliyah Texiera past the red line. She just sends that in deep. So it'll be Wozniacki getting a stick on it first. Trying to force a turnover as Lazarenko plays this to the boards. Robbins able to get a good stick on, forces a turnover. Puck picked up by Carvalho. Her shot, just getting a piece of the shoulder of Labossiere as number 1 turns it aside. Now Eastman trying to stretch that up the middle, but can't. As it's the ice coming down the other way again. Chablik hits the middle seam and Izzy Man, but unable to cradle that puck cleanly as it's turned over again onto Maya Grenier's stick. This time as she dumps that in, goes off for a change. Isabelle Carrier able to get to this puck now, trying to play it up the boards, but Chablik, a good job to cut that off. So now it's picked up by Isabelle Carrier again, gets this up to the point. Haas, her shot tipped by Scott Cook, just getting a piece of it in the slot, but turned aside by Gina Plett. Is now taking a tumble, Scott Cook in the other 15, and Hallie Chablik. As Chablik going off for a change now. As Eastman comes down the other way. Isabelle Carrier trying to hit the middle there for Scott Cook, but couldn't find 15. Onto the stick of Moisey for just a moment, ends up losing it. Now it's Cairns at the line, touches it up just inside of the Eastman select zone for an offside here. With just under 2 minutes played so far in the second period. Kate Cairns to take the draw against Callie Remillard. Loses this one to Remillard as she wins this strongly back into her own end. So strong that it ended up going off of the backboards. Vader Rigaud loses the puck. It down low, but a good stick and good support from Callie Remillard. Take that away for a brief time. As she plays that along the boards to a teammate. Up the middle to Abby Dixon, but unable to connect with her. No icing on the play. As Claire Hudson places up the right side. Gets out of the zone. Vader Rigaud now. Passes cross ice. Now to Dixon. One hands this up to Callie Remillard. Remillard loses it in her skates. Dixon there for good support though, as she's able to get down low. Send that puck opposite side where Delaney Rigaud is there, but was unable to get possession of the puck. Claire Hudson, nice pass through the middle as this kicked out wide to Robbins off of the stick of Talia Jones. Robbins sends this in deep where it's cut off by Isabelle Labossiere out of her own net. Stop that for her teammates. Vader Rigaud gets possession of this. Loses it between her skates for the moment, but able to get this up the boards. Is now loose puck picked up by Heidinger in the neutral zone. Tried to dangle past Texiera, but she's able to shut her down. Texiera flips it over, select, and now she's gone other way. That shot turned aside. Rebound not quite there for the Ice to take advantage of. But a nice rush there from number 2 to start things off. Almost gets the puck back. Izzy Manhouse is stripped away by Delaney Rigaud. Rigaud now in alone. Her shot turned aside by Plett. Was not in alone. She was being pressured quite a lot there on the back check in the end by Izzy Mann, and Great stuff from the captain, right? She makes a bad blunder with that pass, but says, you know what, I'm going to take some responsibility for it, and I'm going to come back hard to try to deny this chance, which she did her best to, and forced a bit of disruption there on the play. Now into the slot through the skates of Hepner. She was trying to go 1T off of that Heidinger pass. Schroeder plays this in deep now, in battling with men, but Tegan Walker will take it away, played it up to Cassie Caravalho. Caravalho now skating through the center and kicked it out wide. So we get an offside on the play. Stop and play here with 15:58 remaining in this second period of action. That big save, by the way, that Gina Plett made moments ago on Delaney Rigaud, brought to you by Goaltenders or Goalies personal video review service. Sure to check out their website, GordyTumilsonGoalies.ca. Learn from an ex-Winnipeg Jets 1.0 WHA goaltender. So that's who runs it, Gordy Tumilson. As this puck sent in from a long ways out by Claire Hudson. Off the backboards, picked up by Beavis. She sends this off the boards, just gets past the stick of Della Queen. Now Claire Hudson being hounded there on the forecheck, creates a turnover for Eastman. Isabella Carrier into the slot. That pass unable to connect with Scott Cook. Couldn't get to her. A nice pass off the boards. Nicholas connecting with Hudson. Now Hudson connects up the right side with Cairns, who upon entry just dumps this in deep and heads off for a change. But have to be careful here. Oh, for Eastman, can't take advantage, but a blatant takedown there from Texiera on Abby Dixon as Texiera. Long face shown to the ref, but feelings won't matter as much as the fact that she ended up taking down Dixon pretty hard there. With 14:56 remaining, it's Eastman going to their second power play of this matchup. Looking for goal number 14 on the power play coming up this year. Is brought to you by Terracos, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. As Eastman controlling here along the half wall. That turned aside and sent out by this Winnipeg Ice squad. As along the boards, down low, pinned up, Eastman able to come away with this puck now. As it's Delaney Rigaud with a glorious chance a few moments ago. Her attempt to go down gets taken away, sticked away by Robbins, but Callie Remillard gets it back. Tries to go to the slot there, taken away by the ice. Just sent all the way down on a good penalty kill so far for the girls in blue and white. As this sent up onto the stick of Schroeder. Schroeder delays upon entry into the zone. Plays a pass into Oda's skates. As this controlled along the boards now. Lexi Remillard gets this back to Hepner as Hepner can't get that pass back from Schroeder. So Remillard unable to hold the line, of course. As the Selects work their way back in. Normando, her pass to the middle, misses. Grenier is taken away by the ice and sent out, but Eastman back in again, sent down low as Schroeder gives chase. Delcley gets there first, tries to rim this around hard enough out, but Beavis meets it there first. Passes across to Haas, goes up top, left face-off circle to Hepner. Back up top to Haas. Now her shot, unable to get through as that hitting the skate of a Winnipeg Ice player on the block. Delcley gets to that puck now, unable to get it out as it's blocked up by Grenier. Man able to get it out far enough, however, as that's all the way down, penalty over, back to even strength. As this stretched up to Grenier, fires to the middle. Oh, Carrier misses the net on a grade A chance for Eastman. Isabella, that is. As Winnipeg able to get this out. Now skated into the zone to Hawes. Back on the back pass in the slot. That shot turned aside by Isabelle Labossiere. It's into the corner. Now working at Texier. That backhand shot turned aside by Labossiere. Held in at the point. Lazarenko tries sending it towards net, but can't. Nice stick by Texier to knock that puck down and keep it in. So that's rimmed around. Opposite side now into the slot was Desensky. Oh, just fires high of the net there. Labossiere might have gotten a piece of it. But this attack continuing for this Winnipeg Ice team as they've settled in to their cycle game now. Up to the point, Hudson just able to keep it in as she rims it down low once again. As Wozniacki keeps it in deep, going off for a change. This offensive zone attack will end for the time being. Loose puck in the neutral zone. Eastman looking to go off for a change. Scott Cook does just that. This sent in deep shots. 11-8 now in favor of the Eastman Selects. Only 2 this period compared to the 5 that the Winnipeg Ice have put on. That as Wozniacki tried to gain the zone there fast. Faster than Robbins entered in as that's off for an offside. With 11:14 remaining here in what's been a defensive battle so far. Both teams, when they've been able to break through, the chances seem to magnify in terms of just how tense those moments are. As it's skated in, Vaderigo trying to make her way up that left wall, but Texier wasn't having any of it. Close it off well. It's now onto the stick, Delaney Rigo. Just able to get that down low to Dixon. Nice job by Lazarenko to cut off those boards. To intercept the puck. Now physical play along the boards there in the corner by Lazarenko. Taking down Callie Remillard. No call on the play, as this sent all the way down into the select zone as there is no icing on the call there. Gets to the Selects blue line. Dixon flips it up down that left side. Puck sent in deep again by this Winnipeg Ice squad. So they also get some fresh legs out for their decor. This line of Carvalho as well as Izzy Mann and Chablik looking to go to work now. Carvalho down low, trying to protect this puck along the boards, and she does just that. Ends up to the point, to the blue line in fact, and drops this all the way down low to Izzy Mann. As Mann able to squirt through the middle there and unable to get that shot through. So it was blocked up. And all the way down for an icing this goes now. 9:49 remaining in the second period. This face-off draw will lead to the blocker hand side of Labossiere. Kay Cairns on to take it for this Winnipeg Ice team. Ends up winning it strong in the face-off circle. D-to-D, the Winnipeg Ice go now. Hudson, her shot, unable to get through that block. Avederi goes feeling right now, hobbling on one foot, but ensues into the boards for a battle. That loose puck now picked up by Chloe Nicholas, but turned aside by Labossiere in the high slot there. Played up the boards. Nice job by the Winnipeg Ice to clog it up and send it in deep again. As this sent all the way down back into the Winnipeg Ice's end now. As Heidinger able to get there against Delacqui. Challenged her well as Schroeder unable to do anything with that puck. That ended up getting to her. Now off the boards. This a bit too far for Heidinger. It's onto Delacqui's stick, but she's hounded by a good Selects forecheck as that puck floats into the breadbasket of Gina Plett. She makes a stop with 8:55 remaining here in the second period of action. So that most recent save brings goaltenders onto the board. Goalie's personal video review service. As this puck battling along the boards, trying to shoot through the railing, but we unable to with the way our camera angle is set up. The Winnipeg Ice fire this all the way down for an icing Face-off draw coming up to the blocker hand side of Plett. Won by Scott Cook for the Selects. Up to the point. Unable to get a shot through there was Hawes as the Ice worked this up the boards. Hawes back on it quickly though. Played it back to a teammate who plays it up to Kennedy Carrier. Carrier continuing along on the forward check. Jones able to get it there to an open teammate, however. Her D partner is this. Chipped in now off the board, sent in deep by Robbins as she goes off for a change. Where this Winnipeg Ice squad is a physical play into the board, sends Beavis there, but no call on the play as the refs just letting them play in that moment. So now this will be picked up by Isabel Carrier, who cuts to the outside. Carrier now cuts to the inside. That shot off of the deflection. Scott Cook trying to get to that loose puck, but couldn't get a clean shot on net. Plett ends up covering things up. With a bit of chaos in front of the Winnipeg Ice net there after the Isabel Carrier shot. And for Isabel, a good job of, first of all, creating space for herself by cutting to the outside. She got a lot of good respect from her opponent there, the defenseman from the Ice, who ended up widening that gap quite a bit, and that allows for Isabella Carrier to be able to cut into the middle there. Sure, the shot gets blocked, but send anything towards the net, attack the front of it, and good things could happen. And Scott Cook almost able to get there fast enough to put home a rebound, as that shot from the side of the net turned wide as it wasn't able to be registered on in that crease occupied by Isabella Bossier. That shot rebound put on, but too high up in the slot for the Selects to get to it. As this to the net, as she's being taken down, a Winnipeg Ice player not able to draw a penalty there, but a good effort from Izzy Mann on the chance. Is this kicked out to the right now as Delaney Rigaud drops this to Dixon. Her shot turned aside by the blocker of number 1 in Carrier, or in Labossiere, as I should say. This played up to Chloe Nicholas, her pass to Chablik, cut off. Now the Selects trying to stretch this up, but Delacqui cuts that off well. As the Selects now get possession back from themselves. Dixon cut into the middle, tried getting a shot there, but couldn't. Heidinger was also tied up. Now Heidinger takes a bump along the boards. Delaney Rigaud also in there for support. Ends up getting the puck almost towards the net. Afterwards, from emerging from the boards, Heidinger gets pinned up along the boards. Now taken away by the Ice. Hudson's pass to Nicholas. Can't find her. Now Heidinger in front of the net. Denied there by Plett. It's a good chance for number 16. Got loose. Kicks it up to herself now. Good work on this forecheck, up to the point. That pass misses, unable to be held in by Hawes as it goes all the way down back into the Eastman Slag zone. DD to Beavis, tried going back to Hawes, but couldn't, as that was clogged up, well, by this Winnipeg Ice team. But it's now Heidinger is able to get that puck loose. Her pass through the neutral zone. We waved off for an ice, and again is that Miss Schroeder, she got tied up. So the call there benefiting the Eastman Selects for the moment, but now it's the Winnipeg Ice who make their way back down. It's sent in deep to the direction of Wozniacki, but gets past her. Now Robbins coming in for support on the forecheck. Pins up a Select along the boards as Wozniacki now becomes the support girl. Tried to get that puck loose but couldn't. Just worked along the boards now by the Eastman Selects. Held in at the line, though, by the Winnipeg Ice and Talia Jones. As in the corner. Ice trying to get this puck free. Same as the Selects, but they're unable to clear the line once again. As this puck ends up almost back down low. Now into the slot. Ice can't locate it, however, and make anything happen of it. It's all the way down for Scott Cook. The angle just right for her off of that bounce pass, but defended well in the middle there by the Ice. Didn't allow her to do anything to get to the inside. As this, they turned up back into the Eastman Select zone by Winnipeg. Carvalho pins up a girl along the boards. That ends up almost into the slot, but puck ends up back into the corner in the Eastman Selects end. Is this rimmed around? This will be now skated by number 10 in Chloe Carey. A saucer pass, cross ice, ends up getting through to Cheyenne Scott Cook. Scott Cook will lose that puck. Cut off on the play. So Winnipeg Ice control this one. Down low. As is Ota. Off the backboards to Tegan Walker, back in the direction of Ota. As Ota plays it to an outlet girl, plays that up to Man. Man saucer pass, just too high for the stick of Callie Carvalho. Cassie Carvalho, as I should say, to receive that pass. As we get down to 3 minutes and 33 seconds left here in the second period of action. Shot 16-10 in favor of the Eastman Selects at this point. Much better period for the Ice in that regard, as this puck one to the point. It gets to number 4 in Dixon now. Back up to the original point girl in Normando, whose shot ends up not getting through any of the traffic there. This now skated up, circled up by Delaney Rigaud, looking for an open shooting lane and getting none there as that deflects wide of the net. Normando pinching up from her D-zone position as she rimmed that around, but it was cut off well by number 16 and Cassie Carvalho. As Carvalho trying to cut to the left but can't. It's a good defensive stick at that time by forward number 18 Delaney Rigaud. That pass up the left side misses from Lexi Remillard. Down for an icing as for the Winnipeg Ice crowd, letting a big cheer out there as well. Happy about that call for them, as that benefits them potentially quite a bit here, depending on what they can do with this upcoming face-off zone draw. So it'll be a tie-up in the face-off circle. Both teams still can't get it free. Which team will it be? It will be the Eastman Selects, who get it free and end up having a penalty taken as well. So it'll be Lexi Remillard heading to the box. 2 minutes for a hook, I believe. Leave Terrico on the screen, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. Sure to check out their website at terrico.ca for more details. It's the Winnipeg Ice now. Work this D-to-D high up in the Select zone. Carvalho, her shot, unable to get through the traffic there. Robbins got on that loose puck and shot it on net, turned aside by Labossiere and into the corner. As the Selects trying to work this up the boards but can't. As Carvalho denied any exit up the boards by clogging it up well. It's played back to Lazarenko, plays it across into the skates of Carvalho. To Lazarenko, that slap pass missing the mark, but ends up onto the stick of Robbins. Lazarenko gets it back, fakes a shot, goes to Carvalho. Back to Lazarenko, another fake shot. Goes to the half wall. Now back to Lazarenko. Looked like she was going to unload, but decided to hold on. To Carvalho. Tries going backdoor. This time actually to the right face-off circle to Izzy Mann. But Mann fanned on that shot. Eastman, that clearing attempt, not quite good enough till the second attempt where they're able to get a stick on it to chip it out. As the puck now picked up by Carvalho, that's Delacque who skates in. The defenseman now, Delane, stopping up a bit before sending this towards the slot, which gets their quick pass, and the Ice making their way towards the net. But too many men on the play. Negates any chance at all, and sends us to a 4-on-4 with 1:20 remaining in this period. 38 seconds of 4-on-4 time coming up here. So Eugene Kaminsky and his coaching staff, I don't think they're really asking for an explanation, actually. I thought they were. But just seems like they're just shaking their heads You gotta hate that if you're a coach, right? Especially the way it happens on a change, like it just did. But we're on to 4-on-4 action now, as Vader go with the puck after the draw was won by Sophia Heidinger. This down low into the direction of Maya Grenier, but that pass misses her. Loose puck picked up by Texier, who was being battled along the boards there by number 16 and Sophia Heidinger, as we're into the final minute of play here in this second period. 12 seconds of 4-on-4 time left. So it'll be picked up by the Eastman Selects, looking to skate this up. And going into the start of a power play here coming up now as we bring Terco back onto the screen. Vader go denied with the paddle there of Gina Plett. 37 seconds left in this period for them to work. Over a minute of power play time left. As this sent down low to Cheyenne Scott Cook. Stops up, surveying options. She fans on that pass, however, trying to go back up to the point. Good support, though, from Lexi Remillard. Negates any danger of this puck getting out of the zone as Eastman picks it up again. Scott Cook back in the corner. Now loose puck picked up. Grenier denied by Plett. A huge blocker save here late in this period with now under 10 seconds left. Grenier tries getting it to the middle there to the slot. Scott Cook tries to get in front from behind the goal line as she gets hounded there by Delacroix at the end to make it pretty much impossible for Scott Cook to make a pass, and Scott Cook just ended up holding on to it. As with another period in the books, it is still scoreless here at the Hockey for All Center. Shots 17-11 in favor of the Winnipeg Ice, or of the Eastman Selects. The Winnipeg Ice had the better of the shots in that last period as they had 3 coming in. They had on 8 to their total. The Selects still with some good chances as they had 6 shots in that period alone. Or no, actually 8 shots in that period, as I clearly can't do math. So shots were even. Yeah, chances for both sides were pretty much even. Both had opportunity, to get out on special teams. One team doing most of the killing, the other doing most of the work on the power play. In terms of Eastman having some power play opportunities. Winnipeg's penalty kill has looked good, though, as they ended up, drawing a penalty for themselves in the late stages of this period, but would unfortunately take a penalty that would end their 5-on-4 opportunity, put to a 4-on-4, which now has Eastman on a 5-on-4 for themselves for the next 40 seconds to start off the third period of play. We'll have that third period, the final 20 minutes of regulation, live here on G-Show Productions when we come back. But before that, when we come back, we'll have some updates from what's been happening in this game so far through the first 40 minutes of play, as well as talking about, the stats leaders from throughout this league, the top 5 point leaders, goal leaders, assist leaders, as well as top 5 goaltenders in terms of wins. We'll also, once again, show you all of the other action that is going down and has gone down already in this Week 8 of action in the MFHL's 2024-2025 regular season. We'll have the conclusion of Saturday's only afternoon game here on G-Show Productions coming up next, as it's the Selects on a power play for the next 40 seconds against the Winnipeg Ice, who look to kill it off, as they've been doing so well so far today in a game which is scoreless, of course. We'll see if that changes and if we'll need extra time potentially in this one. Up next on MFHL Game Day, brought to you by Terrico, Big Cannon Fasteners and Tools, Goaltenders, and Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Welcome back into the Hockey for All Center here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. The Select's going to be on a power play for the first 40 seconds of this period coming up. As, there was some 4-on-4 action to end off that period. Been a somewhat clean game, I'd say. I mean, there's been some penalties taken, more so going towards the ice, going to the penalty box on most of them that have been taken, but it's been a good penalty kill from the ice so far today. A team that's been, as the old cliche goes, batting down the hatches pretty well in their own end. Eastman doing the same, even though Winnipeg had a lot more quality chances throughout that period. But so far in what's been a scoreless first 40, this is the type of game that, even though Eastman's been a high-scoring team in their games this year, they're very comfortable in playing in games like this. As for the Winnipeg Ice, I think they ought to love the spot they're in as well, a team that can play a good defensive game, as we've seen so far today in this matchup specifically, and they've been able to create some offensive chances going their way. Putting up 8 shots last period compared to the 3 they put up in period 1, right? So I think Eugene Kaminsky and his coaching staff for the Ice got to be pleased with more of the volume they saw throughout that last 20 minutes to play, because volume hasn't really been a problem for this team in their past few games, as they put up 54 shots against the Brandon Wheat Kings last night. At the same time, though, for the Eastman Selects, this is the type of game where you're not quite facing adversity, but you're facing a lot of resilience from your opponents. So how are you going to find a chance to break through and get that all-important first goal in this game? We'll find out here coming up next on MFHL Game Day on G-Show Productions, as this is the way the rest of the weekend looks. 2 games were played last night. 2 more games will be played both tonight. 1 in Stonewall, 1 in Brandon, as the Winnipeg Avros head into Brandon's home, as they'll be taking on their second Winnipeg opponent of the weekend. Their first time facing the Avros so far this season. Avros Selects tomorrow should be a dandy. These are how the standings look as well, and even how the assistant goal leaders look as we show you this here. Delaney Rigaud and Veda Rigaud in the top 5 in their respective stat categories there. Delaney in the goal leaders category, Veda in the assist leaders category. As for the goalie leaders, Labossiere, Tomes, take your pick. Each of them have been fantastic so far this year, and Labossiere been pretty solid throughout this game. Veda Rigaud tied for top 3 in points in the league, and looking to be a real difference in this period coming up here on G-Show Productions' presentation of MFHL Game Day. Thank you again to everyone that's been tuning into this one, and thank you to everyone that may just be tuning into this one. We got the Select starting on the power play here in this third period of action for the next 40 seconds as we are underway in this MFHL Game Day, brought to you by Terrico Goaltenders, Ken Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, and for this period, Mick Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. As the Selects taking a bump, but rolling off of the check there was Isabel Carrier. Beavis tried sending that to the net, got blocked up. Now Haas sends it to the net, loose puck, there it's up, in, scores! On that power play goal brought to you by McKen Fasteners and Tools, Isabella Carrier, it wasn't her prettiest goal that she's ever scored, but she'll take it. At the right place at the right time, getting into the dirty areas, which is the side of the net or in the crease. And she's able to put one away in the net just hard enough to get past the line and squeak past Gina Plett. That one brought to you by your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. As how do you respond now if you're the Winnipeg Ice now having to chase this one a bit as they're down 1-0. It's onto the stick of Tegan Walker as she'll walk into the zone. Tried to walk to the outside by cutting there, but will be denied by a stick. Good defensive stick there by Abby Dixon of the Eastman Selects. As Maya Grenier tried to get across to cut that pass off, but couldn't. Vadery go will end up, losing this puck because of the sticky ice. Ends up an advantage for the Winnipeg Ice as that shot from the point turned aside by Isabella Bossier. Penalty coming up this time around going to the Eastman Selects. That's Cassie Caravalho. Good work to get down low to get on that puck and ends up drawing it. So with that, this Winnipeg Ice team has a chance to potentially draw back even in this one. So we bring Mid-Canada Fasters and Tools back onto the screen. And as for the Winnipeg Ice, with 8 power play goals heading into this game, going up against a Eastman Selects team who have taken 100 penalty minutes heading into this afternoon's action. Eastman, a penalty kill that is very aggressive, especially on the forecheck here, and is giving teams fits of breaking out of their own. And this ice here is giving these teams fits in its own right now, as players keep losing the puck along that freshly cleaned surface. A 200-foot sheet of ice out there. As this up to Wozniacki. Sophie Wozniacki tries to spin away from the check-in of Normando, but can't escape from number 11 as this puck ends up behind the net. Now 3 Ice players converging on the puck. Izzy Mann able to get it up to the point to Texiera, plays it across to Caravalho, back to Texiera, plays it across to Mann at the right face-off circle. That off of a skate and in the ice, getting the bounce that they needed in this one. Is that able to fool Isabella Bossier and go in the back of the Eastman Selects net to get this one back to even. And another goal brought to you by Make Canada Fasters and Tools. Hey, sometimes just throwing pucks to the net is all you need for good things to happen, and that's exactly what happens for this Winnipeg Ice team. Good job to get the puck in deep and go after it to establish the offensive zone face-off there by Sophie Wozniacki. It ends up being controlled well by the defenseman, or the acting defenseman on that power play at the point. Cassie Caravalho, of course, working and quarterback in the power play. Her and Texiera go to work well. It ends up to Izzy Mann, who sends it towards the net. Or in the slot area, ends up hitting a skate and redirecting into the net for the Ice's first goal of the game, as they quite literally break the ice on their side of the scoreboard. As this one all tied up as the Winnipeg Ice win the draw. That shot unable to get through. Good pushback from this group this afternoon so far. After allowing a goal early on to start off this period within the first minute of it. Wozniacki, good stick down low, tried to get it away from Hawes, but couldn't. Now Schroeder will be able to chip this one out up the left boards. This is possessed by the Ice once again. Played up to Robbins, who Robbins connects with, or sorry, that's number 18, or number 8 in Wozniacki, who connected with Mann. So that pass was a bit behind her. Mann gets it back, down low, fends off the stick checks of Eastman Selects players now spins towards the boards as Mann gets this in deep with the backhand, gets on her horse to go chase, but the Selects able to get this one out into the neutral zone as Cassie Caravalho pokes it up to Mann. Mann, now her pass into the middle, unable to connect with any of her teammates. It's taken away. And now skated up, Delaney Rigaud, trying to slide up past a nice defenseman up the right side of the boards, but could not. So be possessed by Ota, spinning away from the Selects, checking herself, and gets it to an open teammate in Tegan Walker, but Walker's pass a bit off the mark for a teammate on the breakout, as that shot from in the inside of the zone, just from Kylie Remillard, turned aside by number 30 and Gina Plett. 15:38 remaining in a 1-1 third period of action. Sophia Heidinger will be kicked out of this face-off circle now, bringing on Maya Grenier, who wins this draw against Izzy Mann. Vederigo whacks this in deep. Try to get a cycle going for the Eastman Selects. Good stick work along the boards to take that puck away by Maya Grenier. She now goes into the scrum in the corner to try to get that loose puck up and free. It's now free onto the stick of Heidinger, as Heidinger, trying to find some open space, took a shot and turned aside by Plett. As puck back down low in the corner. Below the goal line now. And passed up by the Winnipeg Ice. Held in though by the Eastman Selects team and sent down low. Going off for a change. It's Carrier Grenier as well as Vederigo. It's now a Winnipeg Ice player losing her edge. And Claire Hudson, as a delayed penalty coming up here on the play. It'll go to the Winnipeg Ice. Sophia Heidinger, the one who drew it, the culprit. Or no, sorry, the culprit is Sophia Heidinger. So it'll send the Eastman Selects back onto the penalty kill here. So bring Mick Fasters and Tools back onto the screen. Izzy Mann signaling to Wasosensky to take the draw. For the rookie going up against Maya Grenier. Grenier ties up. That was Schroeder who was in on the draw. Got my numbers mixed up. As Wasosensky along the boards. I'll create the first goal. Looking to create this next one as the Ice set up on this girl advantage. Up to the point. Lazarenko plays it across to Carvalho. Carvalho back to Lazarenko. Hesitating to shoot. Ends up feeding it off to Mann. Down low for Wasosensky. Wasosensky being sticked there by Normando. Up to the point. Now that rebound! Oh, Wasosensky denied by Labossiere. Puck held in by the skate of Lazarenko off of that Eastman Selects clearing attempt as this gets loose to Mann into the slot. That pass unable to connect with Wasosensky there. Now Normando, unable to get it out. Huge play there by Lazarenko to hold it in. The puck finally got out afterwards. But the Ice, some good looks here through the first minute of what looks like a dangerous power play right now. See how much danger they bring here moving forward. As Talia Jones spinning away from the check-in of Maya Grenier. Pass gets past the outstretched stick of Grenier there, connected on with Delacqui. This gets down low now. Reese Beavis plays this up the boards. This cut off. Texiera plays a short pass. The number 12 in Kate Cairns, who plays it across to Delacqui. Her shot blocked huge by Scott Cook. On that one is Beavis. Tried to touch this up to a teammate, but no teammate was there as this was turned over. Now DDD work to Delacqui again. To Texiera. That shot tipped. Just getting a piece of it was Labossiere to keep it out with 10 seconds left on this power play for the Ice, who continue to get good looks against one of the league's best penalty kills as Beavis eats that along the boards to mark the play dead. As we bring McKenna Fasters and Tools off the screen now, as we're back to even strength. 5-on-5 play. It's big saves from number 1 on that most recent penalty kill sequence. As this one towards the boards, but possessed by the Winnipeg Ice shortly after. It gets down low to Chaplik. Chaplik ends up trying to get this to the slot, but one go there couldn't get through the skates. Delaney Rigaud hits Dixon in the middle seam. Dixon sends this down low, goes to Chase against Walker. Walker trying to eat this along the boards. Delaney trying to get it out free. Ends up free to Eastman Selects at the line, but they're unable to hold this in as it's Izzy Mann in with the puck now, trying to dangle through, but that puck going too far into the crease, where it's smothered by Isabelle Labossiere. As stoppage and play comes with 12 minutes remaining exactly here at the Hockey for All Center in this MFHL game day regular season action here on your home for hockey in Manitoba and your home for MFHL hockey in the province of Manitoba. G-Show Productions. Thank you for being here, everybody. If you are tuning into this one, shots 21-17 in favor of the Eastman Selects. As they have it inside of the Winnipeg ice zone, sent it down low. Puck gets rimmed around and sent all the way out now by Robbins. This given chase will be Lexi Remillard. Selects bench trying to call out to their players on ice to take advantage of maybe a bad Winnipeg ice change, but Winnipeg, they're able to get settled into their defensive structure here to defend this as they get this up to Chloe Nicholas. As Nicholas got that to Kate Cairns in the middle, but Cairns couldn't move it up much further. Beavis now off the boards and out, that cut off by Hudson as Hudson sends it back in deep again for this Winnipeg Ice team. As Beavis now along the left side sends that puck into the neutral zone, but the Ice send it back again. As these two teams playing a bit of catch right now from the neutral zone and into the select zone, that is. That pass unable to make it through a Winnipeg Ice player's shin pad as it went off of that. Now back into the Ice's zone and picked up by Isabella Carrier as Carrier spinning away from the check-in, gets it up to Beavis. Her shot through, oh, just making the save is Gina Plett to keep things out, stretching out that glove. And a huge one there for number 30, probably her biggest of the afternoon. She skates around a bit to calm down again. As this draw won by the Winnipeg Ice, able to flip this out into the neutral zone. This is Vader who's unable to get that pass, the shin pad of Cassie Carvalho upon getting to the puck first. Now Carvalho in the corner, pinned up. And in for support will be Hallie Chablik to pick this puck up. As Chablik sends this up to the pointer, tries to, it wasn't hard enough as it was fanned on. Scott Cook gets it up to Isabella Carrier. Carrier sends it to the low slot now, Beavis, her shot denied. Or no, that was Schroeder, sorry. Who had her shot denied there by Gina Plett. Tegan Walker gets taken out along the boards. There'll be a penalty coming up here to this Eastman Select squad now. Another power play opportunity coming up for the Winnipeg Ice. So we got a face-off inside of the Eastman Select zone. Callie Remillard against Izzy Mann. Mann wins this towards the boards to Carvalho, plays that to Lazarenko. Lazarenko over to Carvalho, her shot into the breadbasket of Labossiere. And gets a stop in play. In a game where this Winnipeg Ice team continues to push against the Eastman Selects. Could argue that Winnipeg in ways has looked like the better team throughout this matchup as it's gone on. A great response from them to tie things up. Was trying to think back if it was on a power play. If not, shortly after one expired, as that shot unable to get through. Trying to get that to the net was Woznetsensky, but a good play from Eastman to get in the lane disrupted it. Eastman trying to get this up, but another nice job by the Ice to hold this in, sending it down low again to Woznetsensky as she spins away from the check-in now of Norman Doe. Held up just a bit And Normando unable to get this out. It's Carvalho. Over to Lazarenko. Lazarenko stick handling. Dishes this off to Izzy Mann, who tries to saucer this over the stick of Normando, but couldn't. Normando's clear out attempt ends up onto the top of the dasher, so ended up into the Eastman bench for a split sec and ended up going back into the play, but the ref's blowing it dead. So we'll get another face-off coming up inside of the Winnipeg Ice, or Eastman select zone, as I should say, as this pass over to Talia Jones. Jones now to the point. Texier, her shot tipped on and save made by Labossiere with 40 seconds now left on the girl advantage for this Ice team. Passed across Delacqui now. Goes to the slot trying to redirect. That was Jones, but couldn't get a handle on it. As Cairns plays that to Delacqui again. Tries going cross ice. Nice stick in the lane there from Delaney Rigo. Ends up front of the net. The Ice banging away at it, but not resulting in anything. Picked up Talia Jones now. Tries to backhand feed that to a teammate, but could not. So 7 seconds left. Maybe one more chance for the Ice as they still control. Now tic-tac-toe. Give and go. Ice can't connect as we're back to even strength. Delacqui, her shot tipped on the way through, rebound there, banging away at it, number 12 in Cairns, but Labossiere sprawling out to make the save. And keeping this a tie game, 1-1 still. Shots now dead even at 23 apiece with 7:33 remaining in this afternoon game here. Just after 5 o'clock, actually almost 5:30. It's the complete opposite of just after 5 o'clock. 5:21 right now in a game that could very well be going down to the wire this afternoon from the Hockey for All Center. As Vaderigo just outside sends this in deep into the Winnipeg Ice zone. She'll end up being the first one back to defend this chance potentially against the Winnipeg Ice. Carvalho was chasing her, man trying to cut her off, end up being turned over inside of the Eastman zone. It's a good defensive play by Winnipeg to force it, but turned up the other way now. Sophia Heidinger trying to escape, ends up to the front of the net to a wide open Scott Cook, who couldn't find the handle on that puck that got to her off that pass. Allowed for Gina Plett to reach out and cover things up right away. Scott Cook tried to make a quick move but couldn't do anything with it really, from just taking into consideration how tight she was to the crease there. But Robbins now tries to send this in deep, went off of a linesman and disrupted it from going in. Lexi Remillard tried to play this out, couldn't. So now Schroeder and Wozniacki tangle up with each other in the slot area. Puck ends up back into the Winnipeg Ice zone as Texier lobs one to number 6 and Chloe Nicholas, but pass couldn't connect as it's across to Isabella Carey. Chips that off the boards into the ice zone as Schroeder gives chase. Cairns gets it to Texier, gets it up quickly to Chloe Nicholas. Through the middle, that one in between Wozniacki as well as Kay Cairns. Ended up being picked up by Reese Beavis as she nifty move along the boards to protect that, and she does just that. Now getting a pass out to number 18 and Delaney Rigo. Side of the net turned aside by Plett. So we get a stoppage in play with 5:45 remaining here. As Plett flashing the leather with confidence and getting a bit of a breather for her squad as forwards change for this Winnipeg Ice team. They're able to get possession on this face-off draw once again as this sent cross ice. Vaderigo got to it first in the neutral zone and sent it in deep. This now played down below the ice goal line behind their net to Claire Hudson. Had a bit of trouble with it. It was in her skates, but got it to safety This is up to number 16 and Cassie Caravallo, who was about to be cut off but decides to chip this in deep. Gets to the puck, pinned up along the boards by Veda Rigaud, however. Chablik now loses an edge against Callie Remillard. No call on the play for a potential trip as the Ice get this back to the point. Now Remillard converges on Chablik to tie her up and not allow her to get that pass reception cleanly. Chablik now getting a bit of a step on Carrier, Chloe that is, for a moment, but got tied up, was disrupted. Now a huge collision into the boards, sent Callie Remillard into them. No call on the play as Eastman skates it up into the ice zone now. Down low, it's Isabelle Carrier. Loses an edge. No call there once again. These refs just letting these players play. Sits loose to Maya Grenier, the ice. 7 lane down in their own end to try to defend this, to try to get players 7 lanes to block. As Eastman still controlling on the outside. Down below the goal line, it's Sophia Heidinger, converged on by many Winnipeg Ice players. As the Ice able to get this out. Cassie Caravallo sends this in deep just past the blue line, or just before the blue line. Teixeira takes a tumble, ends up falling over an Eastman Selects player stick. No call on the play. Just couldn't really escape that from happening there from where Teixeira was coming from. As Grenier able to get this into the neutral zone. 3:39 remaining in this contest now. Lexi Remillard plays it up to Normando. Normando's pass, unable to connect. Put Mid-Canada Fasteners back on the screen here for a moment. Robbins sends this all the way into the Winnipeg Ice player's direction. Wozniacki as Beavis able to get this off the boards. Gets it back. Beavis' shot turned aside there by Grunwald. There by Plett. And with that, another face-off coming inside of the Winnipeg Ice zone. Draw one by this Eastman Selects team. Beavis off the boards, tried to go to number 13 and Kennedy Carrier, but couldn't connect with her. It's Teixeira off the backboards. Didi Lazarenko plays this up. Puck gets past number 4 in Moisey, however. As this Beavis tries to flip it in. Did just that. Battle along the blue line. Now the puck gets sent down low. Beavis tried to send it into the middle there for Schroeder. Schroeder now into the corner. Being tied up along the boards for a moment there by a Winnipeg Ice player. The Ice get this puck all the way out. And it's Isabelle Labossiere who leaves it there for a teammate and Chloe Carrier. Delaney Rigaud sends this across now to Heidinger, who gains the zone. Heidinger steps in. Her shot blocked by Claire Hudson. A good block there by number 3. Hallie Chablik tried to block that shot from the point but couldn't. High stick delayed on the play and touched up by the Winnipeg Ice. So they're able to get this out now into under 2 minutes to play in this action now, as this ends up called dead on the whistle this play, I believe. Puck ended up out of play. So with that, a minute 42 remaining. Shots 26-24 in favor of the Eastman Selects. As Sophia Heidinger won that draw, back to Chloe Carrier, got it up to Delaney Rigaud, who sent it across in the direction of Dixon as well as Heidinger. Along the boards, Veda Rigaud, a good stick, was unable to hold that from getting passed into the Eastman Select zone, though, as this puck now along the boards. Veda Rigaud tied up along the boards. Puck got loose to Heidinger, who sent it up. Now onto the stick, Wozniacki trying to make a strong move wide. Tries cutting in now, but a good stick by Chloe Carrier to take that away. Kay Cairns now trying to come into the scrum and pick up that loose puck, but couldn't. ended up getting it down low. Robbins up to the point. Claire Hudson, DDD to Delaquie. That big block there by Delaney Rigaud. Loses an edge afterwards. This allows for Wasisensky to pick it up. Sent it towards the net, but that out of the reach of Kate Cairns. As that puck ends up, almost a bit of trouble for Isabella Carrier, but able to confidently swipe it away with her paddle. As this all the way down, no icing on the play called on this Eastman Selects team with 25 seconds remaining now on this third period clock. The Ice tried to kick it out to the outside. Now they pick it up in the middle. It's Chloe Nicholas. Tries getting that to Kate Cairns, or Cassie Calavallo, as I should say, but couldn't. Now it's Scott Cook. Has Kennedy Carrier with her. Scott Cook driving to the net. Oh, nice job by Gina Plett. Dogger post there. Loose puck ends up into the slot. As I could not pronounce my words. As both teams were banging away at it, ends up staying a comfortable distance away from the Winnipeg Ice goal, as we got some 3-on-3 overtime coming up here. As who's going to be the hero tonight in a game that's been, very back and forth, honestly, as especially as we've gotten to the conclusion of this one in this third period, especially like shots now into the 20s, 28-25 in favor of the Eastman Selects. And yeah, both these goaltenders having to make not only good saves but sneaky saves with how these pucks are bouncing and bobbling in the offensive zone for both teams, and especially around in the net, right? You look at the way these goals have been created so far tonight as well. They haven't been pretty at that. Of course, the Eastman Selects working it on a power play to start off this power play. Ended up getting up to the point, I believe Blake Haas sent it through. Ended up getting through to the crease out of the net where Isabella Carrier was there to tap one in to give Eastman the 1-0 lead in this game. But then shortly after, the Winnipeg Ice would have a good response. Started with a good forecheck from Sophia Waz-Nasensky. And for Sophie, she was able to get that puck back up to the point. They worked it around all the way to Izzy Mann at the right face-off circle, where she passed it into the slot and went off of a skate and passed Isabelle Bossier for the Ice's first of the night and an all-important game-tying goal at the time. But we're underway here in OT now. It's actually a 4-on-4 overtime in the MFHL. If both teams are unable to score, then we go to a shootout. But Wasisensky, look at the moves from her, dangling into the middle, ended up losing the puck and losing her balance as well. She was knocked to the ice. Good takeaway here from this Eastman Selects team as Veda Rigaud gets it across to Delaney Rigaud. Veda heading backdoor, but Delaney decided to shoot that, and wide of the net it went. As for the Rigauds, both teammates also on the Glen Lawn lines, as we've seen some good chemistry on display from them here tonight. It's that into the corner. Heidinger had it taken away. It's Cassie Caravalho battling along the boards with Delaney Rigaud, able to be flipped out now by Cassie into the direction of Izzy Mann as Mann flips that into the zone. This will be picked up. Nicholas trying to cut through Scott Cook, but couldn't. Now Scott Cook turns this over. Nicholas got it back up to the point to Caravalho. That draw pass not strong enough initially, but Texier, nice work to get to it. All for naught though, as this chance gone out the wayside as Eastman clears it out of the zone. 3:30 remaining in this overtime action. Ice player cutting off a Eastman Selects player as this brings a pass for number 10 in Izzy Mann. Mann trying to spin away from the pressure and trying to get that to the slot area, but couldn't connect with Carvalho. Lexi Remillard spins away from the check and spins the opposite way now past Robinson. Gets a short pass up to Hepner. Hepner drops it back to Lexi Remillard, whose D-to-D pass Off the mark a bit, missing Haas. Now turned over into the ice's possession. Woznесенский! Oh, that chance turned aside by Labossiere. Picked up by Woznесенский again. Tries going side of the net. The front of the net there for Cairns. As Cairns works this down for Woznесенский. Nice stick handling in tight from her to protect it for the time being. Ended up getting it to Lazarenko, who spins away from the pressure herself. Side of the net there. Robbins turned aside by Labossiere. As with 2:34 remaining. In this overtime period, we still don't have a winner here. As this draw won by the Eastman Selects, but Woznесенский doing a good job to tie up her girl down low, forces this into the ice's possession. That shot turned aside. A glove down by Labossiere once again. And covered up at the 2:25 mark. As Eastman really on their heels right now. It's Woznесенский on the face-off draw. Wanted towards the boards, but it was cut off well by the Selects. Now cut off along the boards by Veda Rigaud, who plays it up to Isabella Carrier. Her pass way behind Grenier, turned over into the Winnipeg ice zone now. As it's skated up by Kay Cairns. Nice spinorama move to protect that puck from Isabella Carrier. Got it down low, and now onto the stick of Chloe Nicholas. Going to the net, trying to stick handle there, but turned aside by Isabella Carrier. It was a nice drop by Veda Rigaud to disrupt her and really give her no sort of shot by getting stick on stick. As Veda now joining the rush. Going to the net, Grenier, her shot wide of it. It's now picked up by Cassie Carvalho. Makes a move to the middle. Dangling past Schroeder. Carvalho down the left side. Her shot wide of the net, off the mark. So it's a nice rush in there from number 16. As the Winnipeg Ice now control this puck in their own end. This gets to Carvalho. Nice draw by Izzy Mann to chip it up the boards. Going one-on-one with Beavis. Izzy Mann trying to spin away from Beavis, but a nice job for Beavis to get a stick in away there to take that away from Mann. As Beavis now joining the rush. Schroeder decided to drop that back to Haas, but it'll be intercepted. Now onto the stick of Carvalho. Able to get a pass through to Woznесенский, but a bit behind her. She was able to do really not much with that. Cassie Carvalho no side of the net. That shot ended up hitting the stick. Went up high, bar down. Woznесенский ends it. And for this Winnipeg Ice team, a comeback victory. Down by one, scoring two unanswered here this afternoon to stun this Eastman Selects team and send them home with their first loss in a while here in the MFHL. And for the Winnipeg Ice, what started as a strong weekend last night with an 8-0 victory over the Brandon Wheat-Kings continues today with what was a resilient, hard-fought 60-plus minute battle, as it took all the way until 45 seconds remaining in the overtime period for us to find a winner in this game. So it was Sophie Woznесенский turning things up as this game went along and saving her best for last in overtime, going bar down to give the Ice their 8th win of the season. We'll take a look at how the standings are going to be impacted after this one. As for the Eastman Selects, they'll fall to 14-1-2. They'll move up to 30 points on the season. And it wasn't a clean 2 points for the Winnipeg Ice, but hey, they'll take this one. Now tied with the Westman Wildcats with 4 games in hand on them in the standings, and improving to 8-4-1 on the year. And for Winnipeg, slowly climbing back towards that top 3 here in the league. As for what's up next for the Ice, a matchup tomorrow against the Central Plains Capitals. Eastman will be back in action against the Winnipeg Abers early at 12:15 p.m. Central Time on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca on MFHL Game Day. As for this matchup here this afternoon, Eastman started off as the stronger looking team, held most of the shots throughout that first period, but maybe that was a bit deceiving in ways, as the Winnipeg Ice were passing up on shots quite a bit in that first. Something ended up changing in that first intermission throughout that first intermission heading into that second period, as we saw more shots from this Ice team. Shots were even on the shot total for pretty much the whole way throughout that second, and just keep firing shots towards the net, right? Firing things towards the high danger areas of the ice, and good things can happen. Well, it worked out in Eastman's favor as they got it to the net on their power play goal to open up the scoring in this game, as Isabella Carrier was able to put it away at the side of the net past Gina Plett. But after that, Winnipeg, they would stay on it. They'd stay on the attack. They wouldn't sit back, and they upped their pressure. Ended up drawing a penalty for themselves, putting them onto the power play, where it would be just a strong forecheck from Wozniacki to be able to win the puck battle down low, getting a pass up to the point in the control there, getting it to Izzy Mann, and Mann getting a good bounce off of that pass in the slot area, right? Which ends up redirecting into the net and past Isabelle Labossiere to tie the game up. And both teams traded chances throughout the rest of that final period of regulation. In overtime, the Ice start off with the team looking more dangerous. Eastman gets their dangerous chances throughout that OT period, but it will end up having the Ice back into the Eastman select zone in the final minute of that OT period, and just like how Wozniacki started off strong in that third period, ended off strong in this game with a beautiful bar-down goal to secure, which was, I would say, the biggest win of the Winnipeg Ice's season so far. We'll get to the players of the game now, brought to you by Midcanton Fasteners and Tools and Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, as we show you our final score here once again. But we'll start off with the Eastman Selects. They'll be brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia in this one for their players of the game. And only one player of the game, as I should say, as that ends up going to Reese Beavis. Was really impressed with how Reese played today. Really good active stick, and a good gap resulted in her shutting down many opportunities that could have ended up happening if she wasn't the one, making the type of plays that she was making in this one. Really confident skater with the puck, as well as she was rushing the puck up in this one, making smart plays in the offensive zone, but it was that good active defensive stick in this one that really stood out to myself, and the good gap she was playing paired with that made for an effective night in the defensive zone for Reese Beavis. But as for the Winnipeg Ice, as Eastman's player of the game, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. As for the Winnipeg Ice, brought to you by Midcanton Fasteners and Tools for their player of the game, it goes to Sophie Wozniacki. She turned up her game to another level, to 100 in that third period of action. Was relentless on the forecheck. For so many turnovers and giveaways from this Eastman Selects team, and kept pushing and pushing to get to those high danger scoring areas with either some nifty dangles, some good moves, or either finding those open spaces, right? And she had just enough room to get into that open space for that game winner, with a really quick shot as well, bar down, to give her team the win. She was a huge difference maker throughout that third period of action. Really been impressed with her skill set, and A goal and an assist in this one today, I'm sure. Maybe not an assist, but a big-time effort on the power play on the forecheck to get things started for the Ice on that cycle, which led to their first goal of the game. But yeah, player of the game for the Winnipeg Ice goes to Sophie Wasilewski. For the Eastman Selects, Reese Beavis. We'll have a chance to see Reese Beavis and her Selects back in action tomorrow at the Niverville Recreational Complex for the next edition of MFHL Game Day here on your home of MFHL Hockey on G-Show Productions. I've been your host and play-by-play commentator, Graham the G-Show Forsyth. This is going to conclude our post-game show and our MFHL broadcast today. Special thanks to you, the viewer, for tuning in today, for those who tuned in, as well as to our sponsors for supporting us in Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Make-Hand Fasteners and Tools, Terrico, and Goaltenders. Eastman looking to get back in the win column tomorrow against the Winnipeg Avros. The Ice looking to make it 3 in a row. Going to Portage tomorrow to face off against the Central Plains Capitals. And this one, the Ice winning it a score of 2-1 final in overtime over the Eastman Selects for their first win over the Selects this season. Eastman looking to bounce back huge tomorrow in what should be a great game against the Winnipeg Avers. Until then, MFHL Game Day fans, I've been your man, your boy, whatever you want to call me, Graham the G-Show Forsyth, signing off and saying so long and wishing you all a great rest of your Saturday and a great rest of your weekend. Ice, big comeback win, 2-1 in overtime here. Sophie Wasilewski playing hero, scoring the bar down overtime goal. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.